All right, what's up, Tycoon? Super excited for today's video. We are going to take a look at Bumble, all right? Ticker symbol BMBL. Now, this one just reported earnings and rallied really hard off of the earnings. But I'm going to show you guys what you need to know about Bumble overall, okay? We have a lot going on with the chart. If you take a look, all right, we have these two red lines here. This is what is known as a bearish channel, okay? We are looking at the 1 year, 1 day chart. So essentially for the past year, Bumble has been in a downtrend, all right? We're coming here, we're bouncing off these bottoms. It comes back up to the top, and then we come back down to the bottom, and we could possibly come back up to the top again, all right? Um, but we have a very nice daily gap up to fill. All right, now daily gaps tend to fill about 90 to 95% of the time historically in the stock market, but we also have a daily gap down to fill that I created off of earnings. So it's kind of like battle of the gaps right now. Okay, which one do you think we're going to fill first? We are much closer to this one right here. You know what I mean? So, there's a strong possibility that Bumble could come down to back down to like 20, even possibly as low as 16 over the next few weeks or month. So that's something to be very cautious of. If we zoom out a little bit, all right, I'll show you guys a little bit of some technical analysis here. But essentially, what we have here is we have a high right here, okay? And we have another high right here, and then we have another high right up here. All right, so these are three higher highs, but if we look on our RSI indicator, right, we have three lower lows, which is kind of forming what's known as bullish divergence, right? So we had some bullish divergence, initially on Bumble, all right, as indicated by this trend line here. And, I can draw a trend line here like this as well. But we made three lower highs on the RSI, but we made three higher highs on the stock price. And we dropped very hard after that. So what I want you to realize is that we are now approaching this bearish divergence trend line, and this is a possible rejection zone, right? Because we've been getting, the RSI has been getting rejected, right along this trend line. So there's a strong possibility that we could, get rejected there. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and delete this one real quick and show you guys that, more recently we have what's known as bullish divergence. If we draw a trend line from here, okay, down to, like these levels, you can see that we're pretty much, going down very dramatically, but the RSI is relatively flat. Okay. So if we look here, flat, 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 we kind of have a triple bottom here on the RSI, but the stock price has gone down a lot. That's a little bit of a bullish indicator, all right? And, we did pop very hard, basically off of this bullish divergence right here, and it rallied super hard on earnings. And, we'll go ahead and take a look and zoom in a little bit more. And I want to show you guys essentially what we have going on now. All right. So we're going to go ahead and zoom back out a little bit, and we're going to go here, and we're going to kind of do like this. All right. So I want you guys to see that there's a little bit of an uptrend now on the RSI. I'll make this a little bit bigger. As you can see, it's kind of going up a little bit here, but if we look at the highs on the stock, it's going down. All right. So, here's our high. Here we have a high here, high here, high here, high here, kind of a quad top, right? And then we dropped hard, but the RSI, after that, after these levels, is still continuing up a little bit on an uptrend. All right. So this is, means that we have a little bit of some, bullish divergence going on. We have it on the bottom and we have it on the top here. And that indicates that we could, continue seeing some more bullish activity. We just have to keep in mind that initial bearish divergence trend line that I showed you guys. Okay. So, we're at a possible rejection zone for our bearish divergence, but we have more currently some bullish divergence going on that could break us past that rejection zone. All right. And now I'm going to go ahead and zoom in now a little bit to the 5-minute chart so we can take a look at the price action for today. And I want to show you guys that it rallied really hard. And then I just suggested some put options, and I was charting up Bumble a lot today, because it has this daily gap down. And I've been looking for it to fall, okay, as a result, and come back down and fill this gap. Now I don't expect it to happen today, or necessarily tomorrow, but I am looking for the overreaction, the positive overreaction on Bumble earnings, to possibly pull back and fall back down and potentially fill this gap. Okay, so um and currently what we're looking at, okay, I'm going to extend this to the right a little bit for you guys and extend this one to the right, just so you guys can see. And what we have is a bullish channel right now. Okay, so we had our big drop, and then we are now trading in a bullish channel. What this means is that this is essentially a bear flag. Okay, a bear flag is when you get a sharp drop in one particular direction, and the downwards direction for the bear flag, and then you get this consolidation channel. So as soon as we break down from this channel, the projected move for the bear flag is going to be something like this. What you would do is you would take your trend line from the highs to the lows. You would duplicate that drawing, and you just put it basically at the highs of the flagpole. All right, or not the flagpole, but the flag part of your bear flag, right? So if we do get a break down and we do break below this bottom trend line here, this bottom red trend line, then there's a possibility that Bumble comes all the way down to 22.22. That is our bear flag price target. And as I showed you guys earlier, we have the daily gap down to fill. And that daily gap down will take us all the way down here to about 1739. Yeah, 1732 to be exact. All right, so that's what I've been looking at on Bumble. I think that it's really interesting. There's definitely some possibilities that we can continue some bullishness, right? Especially if it's the market. It just depends on market conditions, okay? But this is a play that I'm looking at and I'm pretty confident in, and I don't mind having some patience and waiting just in case Bumble does get a couple more days of bullishness. I'm really looking to see if we're going to pull back down and fill this daily gap down. And if we do so here within the next week or two, then the put options that we are in will be up very nicely. Okay. Now, of course, if you got in some put options at the high today, you're obviously up because it's down. It's down about 6%. And, the way that options work is that those are going to be a lot more up a lot more significantly. Okay. What you can do to track it is we can come here to the, well, let's just copy and paste. I'm not sure if you know, but you can right click, hit copy. All right. And then let's go back to our chart. And now we can paste this in here. And let's look at what time this was. This was about 10:20 today. So we need to keep that in mind. And we paste our option data in there for today. All right. And we can look at 10:20 right here. This is our 10:20 mark to where it is at currently. Okay. The put options are currently up 53% on Bumble. Now, if you were able to get a perfect entry and exit for the day, and if you would have bought at 10:20 and then sold at the very bottom of today earlier, that was a 108% return on your investment. So you would have doubled your money if you were a perfect trader. Now, I'm not a perfect trader. Nobody's a perfect trader. You can't predict, perfect entries and exits every time. Sometimes, you do get those perfect entries and exits, but the main thing is to trust your analysis and figure out, if volume, price action, supply and demand are, going to, and basically back up your thesis. And those are the things that you need to pay attention to. All right, so if you want a little bit of help, reading volume, price action, supply and demand, I got a nice little video you can go ahead and watch right here.